Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Persistent compulsive use of a substance known by the user to be harmful is the Merriam-Webster broad definition of addiction. We're going to break down this definition and see if it applies to social media and if it really traps teenagers in a prison they can't escape of.
In a previous episode, we talked about the prison that is porn addiction. This episode we'll talk about social media and what the fuck is going on with our fucked up generation.
Spot on. So, the first part of the definition, persistent compulsive use. That should be pretty explanatory. Everyone has a screen time app on their phone.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they integrated it into their phones. Maybe they really just knew that people don't care and they are so addicted to it.
Probably, but it has this point that you can check on your use whenever you want, but they know that you probably are too fucking lazy to care about your use, so you won't do shit about it.
That's why I have it on my front screen of my home page on my phone. So at every moment of the day I can see how much I've used, and it's still 2 to 3 hours, which is a lot compared to the norm.
Yeah, it's like Belgium results point to like average screen time, and this includes ages between 16 and 65 plus. That is, the old people that are dying are included in this. They don't even know how to turn a fucking phone on.
They have 3 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, these people add to it, and the average screen time in Belgium is 183 minutes. That is 3 hours and 3 minutes. Of which 2 hours and 10 minutes is spent on fucking social media.
So the persistent compulsive use is, like I said, so explanatory. Like, how many social media accounts do you have? How many times do you check them each day? How long do you spend on one when you check it? If you have a smartphone, do you have the notifications turned on? Duh, I don't want to miss out. Fear of missing out, FOMO. How long do you wait to investigate when you hear that famous sound of Snapchat or WhatsApp or Instagram? Even when there is no notification, you still check just to be sure if someone didn't send you a new meme, or if Joe Biden didn't say something ridiculous, or Trump, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Felix, but I do not have notifications turned on. Most of the time, my noise is off, so I don't get any notifications. And even when my notifications are off, I most of the time have do not disturb mode on because, well, I just don't care.
The thing is, when I deleted all the social medias, I didn't have to have do not disturb on anymore, since I got so little notifications, only of people who actually messaged me and I cared about. So then I replied back to them, of course, duh. But yes, the next part of the definition should be use of substance known by the user to be harmful. But is it even harmful?
Well, think about what are things that are harmful. You have these very obvious classifications like drugs, opioids, and prescribed drugs like amphetamine or GBA. It just doesn't matter. Like, porn can be addictive, porn can be harmful. Like, go visit any ex-porn addict and they'll tell you that it destroys their life. Same goes with social media. Like, I've been social media detox for, I think, about a year and a half now. I believe Felix has been for somewhat around 6 months. 7?
A little less, I think. Yeah, 3 to 5 in that area.
Even he will be the first to admit that it does change a lot in your life. You start living for yourself.
The funny thing is, I still went on the browser version on Instagram.
Yeah.
But my account got deleted 3 times. So I can't even check it anymore. I tried to revoke it. They said I violated the terms of community guidelines or whatever. Never did. I wasn't even on it that much. But I can't get it back. I even sent that awkward picture with the code on it. It still didn't work. So
well, if that isn't the message of God telling you that you are not meant to be on social media. But even though all we are saying might just sound like some teenagers just hating on social media just because they have had some bad experience about it, but there is actually a vast pool, a vast amount of literature about it. There's, for example, this one study done by Gonzalez and Hannock, which researched if social media, they did it on Facebook, had some effects on people's objective of self-image. So there's this idea, objective self-awareness, and it's where you look at yourself, like you imagine other people look at you, and you change your behavior in according to it. So if you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I'm fucking fat, I should go to the gym, it's not because you think you're fat, it's because you think others think you're fat. And it found that, and this stunned me, it found that Facebook actually does have a positive influence on self-image, but what they did found is that it goes against all social theories that stand now. This was later brought down by a vast amount of other research that said, like, no, it doesn't work that way. Well, it improves self-awareness, so you are more aware of your body. You're like, maybe I should lose some weight, maybe I'm getting too fat or unhealthy, my teeth are getting yellow instead of white, and yada yada. But it's not like changing your self-image. If you see a picture of, I don't know, Kylie Jenner, for example, you are not going to think, well, I am fucking pretty, ain't I? No, you're going to think I'm a fucking monster, I have nothing good in my life, I'm just worthless. But what the study tried to prove is that by having more self-awareness, you are becoming more positive in your formation of your self-image.
And I can talk about my personal experience on this as well, that the ability to grasp whether you're doing okay in life, like, it's gone when you use a lot of social media. And this can be explained like how Aydan did it, through psychology, or it can even be explained with the fundamentals of dopamine, which is crazy, since everyone knows that the big companies have curated this product just to be perfect, to grasp your attention, to release as much as dopamine than they can to get you addicted to it. But what I recently found out from a Huberman podcast, a very good one,
Yes.
really recommend.
Everyone, we both recommend to go watch the Uberman Lab podcasts. Professor Uberman is a professor at Stanford University. We have never spoken to him, but we would recommend it to anyone.
And on his dopamine podcast, he explained that dopamine is a measure. It measures your success. It's very, it's not facts. It's very, what's the word?
Subjective.
Subjective. Thank you, Aydan. Brain fart over here. It's very subjective, but it does its job. So, and this is so eye-opening to me when I use social media and I see other people doing great in life, and I'm just sitting on the sofa eating Doritos. Yeah, it's even in the dopamine that you can see that my success is not that much. Then
there's this immensely famous quote. I believe it's Jordan Peterson who said it. He said, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. And it's completely dominating the self-development spheres.
It's not even a quote, it's a life guide. It's like a life rule that he lives by. And it's deeper than it looks. Okay, the second part, not to someone else, is pretty self-explanatory again. But the first part, you have to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah, so it points us to this idea that we, in pursuing Ubermensch, we believe this to be important, that you should compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is, because, well, someone else is someone else. You are not living their life, they are not living your life, so why the fuck do you even care? Because you're a social animal. But taking that aside, you should compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Why yesterday? Because this theory starts from a perspective that believes in self-improvement. So Jordan also said this, like, 1% in 100 days is still 100%, but the odds of failing are much lower. So that is why you should compare yourself to who you were yesterday, because even if you keep improving 1% each day, you are going to get there, and you're going to get there more steadily than if you would try to attempt to throw your entire life over and change everything, like stop eating junk food or stop eating porn, waking up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning all at the same time. No, you will just fucking kill yourself.
Nice, eating porn.
Yeah, eating porn.
But okay, how do you measure that 1%? Then you must first define what you want to do in life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't have a like a, what's it called, a relative point
Yeah.
of view to compare yourself to. So if your goal is to,
Lose weight.
lose weight, too vague. So we're
Yeah.
making goals by the smart.
Okay, so imagine your goal is you weigh, I'll take me for example, I weigh around 82 kilograms. I don't know what that is in LBS, I don't even care. If you want to know, you can just type it in Google or in Safari or whatever the fuck you use. I don't care, you do it yourself. I would like to get down to 77, 76 kilograms. What would be 1% improvement for me? Well, it would be not eating an entire bag of chips in one day, or just losing about, 250 grams a day. If you add those 250 grams and you do it like a week, well, it becomes around,
Quick maths.
1.4 kilograms, something like that. You lose 2 kilograms, and if you break things down in steps like that, it becomes much easier. It's also, that is a very common idea in the spheres in self-development. Break things down. You can't take down an entire city, you can't take down an entire monument, you can't take down an entire government, you can't take down an entire mountain. Take it step by step. No one has ever climbed the Mount Everest thinking, well, I'm going to get to the fucking top first try. No, you are going to go step by step. Like, it's the same with this Wim Hofman method, where you attempt to get into cold water. If you think only 2 seconds ahead and you let the thought of, shit, it is awfully cold in here, if you let it slip into your brain, you're lost. You're getting out.
If you don't know who that is, he's absolutely crazy, this guy. He's like the Iceman, I think.
Yeah,
is his nickname.
his nickname is the Iceman, but he's an absolute goat. He's just so fucking crazy.
So now we'll get known by the user, that part of the definition. So now we know it's harmful. We know it's persistent use. So are you self-aware about it? If you were not, now you are. Haha. But why will you most likely still keep using social media? Well, you get enough perceived benefit that it is worth the downsides that you are aware of.
Same goes with every addiction, whether it's porn addiction or cocaine or alcohol. At some point, and I believe this is the fundamental start of your recovery process, you feel like, whoa, it is really bad what I'm doing here, maybe I should stop doing it. But at some point, and everyone who's gotten into porn knows this feeling, your brain is like, hell nah, just do it. Do it. I bet you won't do it. Do it.
It'll reduce the stress, you'll feel better, you'll get to sleep after it.
Do it. And you, the pathetic human being that you are, you will give in to it. So, yeah, it's just like, we all know that things are bad. Everyone who listens to this podcast knows that eating hamburgers or going to KFC or McDonald's or whatever the fuck you like, it is unhealthy, yet every one of us does it. Why? Because we're just too fucking lazy to change anything about it.
Okay, so what are the perceived benefits of social media, aka the most excuses that people use?
Well, there's this idea, it keeps me connected with other people. You have WhatsApp now, so shut the fuck off, you crazy wimp.
A little bit aggressive over here.
Yeah.
But the messaging feature on Instagram and sending sending memes to each other and making it so easy and immersive is really keeping you in the prison, and that's why I was hesitant to delete my Instagram first. But then at some point, you just got to realize you're wasting way too much time. You just delete it.
Yeah, to everyone who's listening to the podcast right now, go to your phone, go to your screen time, and look what app you spent the most time on. If it's a social media app, listen carefully to everything we are going to say from now on, because you are deep in the shit. You are staring down into the abyss, as Nietzsche would call it.
Just like us and just like everyone else at some point. So one of the excuses that you might also have is it helps me develop my interests and find other like-minded people.
Where? Reddit? Reddit are funny or whatever the else? No, you won't. The only way to find people who like the same shit as you do, well, I have to say the internet helps a lot, but it's not real.
It's not social media, it's other platforms.
Yeah.
YouTube comment sections maybe. That might even help. But the thing is here, social media creates a bubbles, and you must all be aware of this. If you're not, then you're really messed up, and you really have to consider to delete everything.
If you don't know that social media works in bubbles, you're a fucking retard.
So at the beginning, when you create an account, you choose your interests. I like technology, cars, and women. No clue. Clothes, whatever. Yes. Now it'll show you a feed of that, yeah. But then the AI that runs your feed will learn what you really like, and it'll start to pop those, the odd ones there, the ones that have nothing to do with what you clicked. And then if you like it, it knows you like that topic, so it gives you another one. You like it as well? Welcome to the bubble, my friend. Now you're officially in a new group, and now you'll just get that topic, and if someone else enters that bubble, in the comment section, you can see it very clearly. Everyone's mad, everyone's discussing, cussing each other out. You see that on TikTok, since TikTok's algorithm is phenomenal at keeping you addicted into bubbles.
Yeah, and it's like all of social media and the entire working of the internet is based on these bubbles. If you would type into someone you know to be a leftist, if you would type into their browser political or just something, the odds are you would get something leftist. Like, you would be much quicker to find someone left, like, I don't know, Marx or Stalin or Lenin, than you would be able to find Trump or Hitler, maybe. But Hitler is somewhat of a tough choice. But you get the point. It's much easier to find people who are within your own bubble, and because you get stuck inside this bubble, you get this notion of, I am getting real news, but you are not. Like, there are these people who listen only to the Daily Wire. I listen to the Daily Wire at some times, but I'm not like a regular listener or something. I don't read their blogs, I don't read their columns. I know Ben Shapiro, but I'm not like a big fan of him. I'm not a stan. I'm not like, oh yes, daddy, please. No, but the people that are, they believe that whatever Ben Shapiro or the Daily Wire or Fox News in America, it's so fucking weird. Like, whatever Fox News tells you, it's the truth, and whatever NSCBC tells you, it's a lie. It's a fucking lie.
So the other argument here is also, it can be educative. You learn new things, and it's legitimately a good argument, because I use YouTube and Medium, which is a platform for articles, to educate myself on topics that I'm interested in, like blockchain, for example. But then Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Twitch, Reddit, nope. That's pure entertainment. There is no educational videos there, and if they are, they don't actually teach you anything vital, because they're 60 seconds or 3 minutes long. What can you actually learn from a 60-second clip? Some tips and tricks. Yay.
And for anyone who's wondering or pondering on the idea, well, maybe it can be used to educate yourself. There was this study done in Saudi Arabia. It was done on a girl for a school, university for girls, by Kolar et al. And it showed that only 1% of all interviewed students use social media for academic purposes. 35% use it to chat with others, 24 to pass time. 24, I mean 42 to pass time. What are you doing when your main purpose of social media becomes to pass time? You know what that means? It means you don't have any fucking thing to do in your life. You have no goal, you have no purpose. And that is why you should listen to Pursuing Ubermensch.
Just cussing the viewers out. That's a great way. Okay. Then another reason why I used Instagram, well, like I said, was memes. But they're a waste of time. They're funny. They're good form of entertainment, sure. But then again, it's a bubble that you really need to be in. Otherwise, you don't get the humor nowadays. The Gen Z humor is so bubbled up that other generations and other, even just people who don't have social media, they don't get the jokes. They don't get the TikTok sounds that you make during class and everyone laughs.
Yeah, Felix and I were talking about this before we started recording, and we both agreed on the fact that if someone would show us a meme that is popular right now, we would not know what to think of it. Like, we know the old memes, like, everywhere I go, I see his face, or what is this? And then the guy pointing at a butterfly. We know those memes, and do you know the way, and that kind of things. But modern memes, they're not just memes. They're people desperately attempting to make other people laugh.
And the culture shifts so fast in it. I'm only 3 to 5 months into this, not using Instagram, and I'm already like falling behind incredibly. Like, there's a full new meme, and then the sub meme of that meme, and the sub meme of that meme, and sub meme of that meme that I don't get. And
yeah, if you have a kid in your class who has ADHD or ADD, that kid would be social media. It is not able to concentrate on one thing for a longer amount of time. It gets distracted by every other thing it sees. It's just like, you know it to be annoying, but you are still like, well, I don't know.
And like social media also creates like a shorter attention span. I don't know if there has been any studies on this, but just personal experience again. My attention span, thanks to TikTok, non-existent. Everyone says it as well. They have an attention span of a goldfish. A TikTok of 60 seconds explaining something educative is too long to listen to. 60 seconds. That's nothing.
Imagine going to school. It's like, we have like, what is it, 7 hours of, seven parts of 50 minutes?
Like 33 hours a week.
Yeah, it's crazy. But there's this Taiwanese study, and it found that students, the majority of these students are done with university students, and they found that there is a correlation between the amount that social media is used and the disturbance in sleep. So basically, the more you use social media, the worse you sleep. The worse you sleep, the worse you feel, the more you use social media, and you get into this endless cycles of pain and social media use.
And sleep is so important. Everyone is like sleep deprived nowadays. 6 hours is enough. You're not getting 6 hours, you're getting 5 hours. You're awake 1 hour at night on average, and then plus falling asleep time adds to 1.5 hours of sleep. So if you go to sleep by 10 and wake up at 7, you don't have 9 hours of sleep. You have like 7.5, which is still under 8 hours. It's crazy how much you need sleep. And the best way to sleep is just to exhaust yourself mentally during the day by learning new stuff, by working on projects, by pursuing Ubermensch, and exhausting yourself physically in fitness, in running, whatever. Just be tired at the end of the day, and then be happy to crawl into your bed, under the blankets, under the sheets, and then say, this was my day and I'm fulfilled. Trust me, you'll fall asleep.
Yeah, I bet like the majority of you guys who are listening, who are attempting or even thinking about pursuing Ubermensch, you are going to bed with a feeling like, I actually didn't do anything today. And we both know it. We have started our self-development journey at some point, and we both were like, we know we got to change something, but and then you go to bed and you're like, I did just nothing and I feel bad, but well, tomorrow will be a new day, but tomorrow won't be a new day. You'll do just the same shit and you'll just never do anything. That brings us with the idea of developing key and real world skills. Like, what are you developing scrolling to Instagram? Are you developing finger muscles? What are you even developing?
So this is from an article that I found, and I'll just read the passage to you guys since I don't want to butcher what they said, so we're not rephrasing everything and making it sound, in our favor. So what they said was, managing an online presence and being able to interact effectively online is becoming an increasingly important skill in the workplace. Being able to quickly adapt to new technologies, services, and environments is already regarded as a highly valuable skill by employers and can facilitate both formal and informal learning. Most services are text-based, which encourages literacy skills, including interpretation, evaluation, and contextualization.
Is that what the fuck Twitter does? Is that what Twitter does? Well, if you want to see people with the highest literacy skills and the biggest brains, go to Jordan Peterson, go to his Twitter post and read the comments. You'll think, where the fuck is this generation going? You'll be ashamed to even call yourself human.
A tad aggressive again. So, then this ties very well into the people become independent and building resilience to whatever rules the government make or whatever the norm is, normalize this and that. It's very popular on social media.
But still, if Addison Rae says, go buy this shirt, like 1 million people do it, you are becoming independent and resilient. But if Addison Rae says, do this, you do it, no, you're just becoming a fucking sheep. You are giving up your entire free mind, your entire free will, and your life. Because you are giving your life to other people just to control. You are not doing anything, you're just giving it away to people who, quite frankly, do not deserve it.
Okay. I know it's an addiction. I'm self-aware. And how do I quit? Since it's very hard and there is no real AA meeting for quitting social media. So there's only one real way.
Yeah, it's the way Felix and I both did it, just cold turkey. You just, for those who don't know what cold turkey is, you just do it. Like, you delete Instagram, you delete Twitter, you delete Facebook, you delete everything. You make sure you're not accessing it. If you do not have the self-control to not re-download Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever else, Reddit, that's okay. We've all been there. But you need to start working on it. Like, Rome wasn't built in one day.
Again, the incremental 1% steps. Being self-aware is the first 1%. Tomorrow, start saying goodbye to all of your friends and saying, this is the last day, send the best memes you've got. Tomorrow I'm gone. That's what I did. And it worked very well.
And I know most of you are like, oh, but I do not want to delete social media because people would not be able to contact me. Like, Felix and I, we've deleted all our social media except for WhatsApp. Why? Well, we're still humans and we are not as crazy as we might sound. But what we did was we sent to everyone in every group that we were in, we sent, this is my number. If you need me, contact me. If they do not contact you, it means they do not need you. So you shouldn't care. If they really need you, they will contact you.
And my personal screen time, like I said, is like 2 to 3 hours, and it's just podcasts on YouTube or on Spotify and WhatsApp. And podcasts on YouTube and the occasional self-improvement red pill YouTube video that I watch just before I go to bed, which I know isn't good, but I'm physically and mentally already exhausted, so I'll fall asleep. No problem.
Yeah, that's the entire thing. Like, you are not going to quit social media in just one day. You are not. So stop giving you a hard time. We are giving you a hard time. That is our job. But be kind to yourself, but not kind enough to allow yourself to get back into the loop of pointlessness and getting into the bubbles of social media. Like, there's this awesome documentary on Netflix. I am not quite sure how it's called.
Social dilemma?
Yes, The Social Dilemma. And I've watched it quite some time ago, and after it I felt so bad that I just deleted everything. I was like, nope, I am not doing this. And, well, I'm not saying we should all be afraid of everything, but it co-aligns with this idea. And again, it's an idea featured by Jordan Peterson, and it's this idea of if you want to do something, but you are not sure how to start it, or you are afraid that you don't have motivation enough, go sit on a chair and think about it really good. Think about what your life would be if you did not. So, for anyone who's listening, sit on a chair and think for 30 minutes about what your life will be if you do not decrease your social media activity. And if you've done your job right, you'll come back to this podcast and realize that there is no positive reality.
And which is also important, not only the downside of it, but also the upside. So then thinking about what your life would be if you did delete social media, and if that you did start pursuing Ubermensch, and you did start self-improving every single day.
Yeah, the main point is make yourself so afraid of not doing it that there is no other way to live anymore. Like, we all know, everyone who's listening to this isn't dumb. I know that you are not dumb, and I know that you have a basic understanding of human conditions, and that you will realize that fear is a primary motivator in human beings. So make use of it. Make yourself so fucking afraid of using social media, of becoming a sheep, of becoming dependent of others. Like, what are you doing? Why are you basing your entire view of yourself on what other people say about you, on the amount of likes that you get on a stupid platform, of your favorite picture that you retook 10,000 times to make sure the lighting was perfect? If you give that excuse to me, I'll just say to your face, you're a fucking wanker. Just stop there. Like, stop giving yourself excuses. Like, talk to yourself in a positive manner. Not, oh, but I can't help it. I'm so deep in. Yeah, you are deep in. Your body knows it. Stop talking like that. Your brain cannot think in negatives. If I were to tell you, do not think about a pink elephant, your brain will think about a pink elephant, because your brain cannot think in negatives. So stop thinking in negatives. Think positive. That is like the best advice I can give to anything in life. Stop thinking in negatives. Rephrase everything so that it becomes positive. Social media I will lose my friends. No, think of it this way. If I drop social media, I will be able to live a full life. I will enjoy myself more, and I will make more meaningful and long-lasting relationships.
And the real friends will still stay there and chat with you through whatever WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, whatever you use. So don't worry.
Yeah, if you drop social media and your friends start dropping off and they start disappearing, that is how you know that they never were real friends. Real friends do not disappear from one day to the other. They'll say, okay, I get it. Can we text on WhatsApp? You'll send your number and they'll text you. If they drop you, they're just fucking pussies. They're afraid to get out of the algorithm. They're like too deep in.
And remember, guys, give it the right amount of fucks.